Here's what you missed on Phathead and Cande in the morning. Weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.
My Country 96.1 Phathead, Cande Roth. We are looking at a decent day, mix of sun and clouds, and it doesn't look like real precipitation like yesterday with the fog and everything. But about 58 to 60, you will see some sunshine today, and we're excited about it. Tomorrow and Thursday, looking even better, into the 60s with even more sunshine. So, Cande out today, called in sick. That's okay. I'm a little stuffy myself. Sorry for the sound if I sound off a little bit. One of the worst things is, I know, when you have to listen to someone with a stuffy head, a stuffy nose, and everything, hopefully it doesn't come across as bad or as stuffed as my head feels. Now, today, more important things, okay? Enough about me. This is about you. Today, April 18th, officially tax day. Now, it's usually the 15th, right? But the 15th fell on a weekend, so they extend it, and then there was some sort of reason they pushed it to Tuesday, whatever it is. Anyway, today is the deadline. I suggest you get to it if you haven't done it yet. At least file for an extension. You know, only 2% of people say they file for an extension. It's fairly easy. You could buy yourself another 6 months, but that's just for the paperwork. If you owe money, by the way, it's still due today. And if you don't pay an estimated amount now, you'll owe interest on unpaid tax. So there's that. I do remember back in the day, and we're going to get to some facts and figures here on people not wanting to do their taxes. We will discuss that in a second. I do remember working at a different radio station, and we would do tax day events. And, you know, this is back in the day before they were e-filed and everything was computerized. We would hold events at post offices, and people would be lined up finishing their taxes, putting them in envelopes, you know, getting stamps and addressing them. And we would host an event at like 11 o'clock at night, you know, 10 o'clock, 11 o'clock, going towards midnight, because the post offices would stay open late and all that stuff. So that was fun. That's like when we used to do the snow closings, and we used to sit and announce every school over and over and over. Now it's all done by text message and phone call for your right to your home. Well, taxes, of course, online, and no more post office events for us. But here are some of the more interesting tax day facts of people, things they would rather do than do their taxes. 13% of people say they would rather drink expired milk than do their taxes. 15% would rather swim with sharks than do their taxes. 16% would rather spend a night in jail than do their taxes. 26% of people say they would rather miss a connecting flight than do their taxes. That's insane. 36% would rather talk to their kids about the birds and the bees than do their taxes. And 50% of people would rather go through jury duty than sit and do their taxes. I'm sorry, that's some lazy people there. You can get it done. You could go hire an accountant. You'll be just fine as well. You don't, have to do it yourself. You can hire a professional to do it. They could ease the burden. Now, here's an interesting one. If you could live tax-free forever, for the rest of your life, what would you do? What would you give up? Okay. 39% of us would move to a different country. If you didn't have to pay taxes for the rest of your life, 39% would move to a different country. I would consider, I'd need to see what countries are on the list before I agree to that. 37% would get an IRS tattoo if they could live tax-free forever. 23% would stop talking for 6 months. I might take a 6-month leave of absence and do that to live tax-free for the rest of my life. 14% of people would have a child and name them Taxes. It's not a terrible name. In this day and age, anything goes. Taxes, it almost sounds like Texas. That's not terrible. And 10% would spend 3 years cleaning prison toilets to live tax-free. That one I'd have to think about a little bit. I'm not as sure about that as, if that's going to be on my list of things to do. But anyway, if you haven't finished your taxes, filed your taxes, gotten an extension, if you haven't done any of this stuff, today is the deadline. I hate to be the guy to jolt some sense into you, but I am that guy today. To go along with this, one more story, not having to do with taxes necessarily, but having to do with saving money. There's an article I'm reading about groceries and grocery shopping. And as you can imagine, think about this. You don't eat everything you bring home from the supermarket, right? You throw some of the stuff away. Could be bananas get old, or an avocado gets too soft, right? And something goes in the garbage. A new report says the average American throws away $63 worth of groceries every week. That is about $3,000 a year. So in talking about money and taxes, next time you go to the grocery store, maybe you don't over-purchase. Maybe you buy exactly what you need for a couple of days, and then you go back and buy more 3 or 4 days later. Fruits and vegetables, the biggest. They spoil quickly. We're throwing a lot of those away. Leftovers from meals that we make. Let's say you make a steak or chicken or whatever. You put some leftovers in the fridge. They don't get eaten. That adds to the dollar value as well. Lettuce, bananas, milk, avocado, as I mentioned, eggs, some meat, carrots, different things like that. Anyway, you could save about $63 worth of groceries every week if you just don't overbuy, or else you are wasting about $3,000 per year. Coming up in the 8 o'clock hour, about 8:12, is your Bald and the Beautiful Entertainment, everything from Nashville to Hollywood. I'm also going to tell you at about 8:47, the big burger chain that is changing the way they make their most famous burger, and you're going to want to hear this, and I'm going to rip them just a touch. We will get into that. Your national days at that point as well, about 8:47 as well. We will have 58 to 60 degrees, little bit of cloud cover, little bit of sunshine, kind of a mix. Tomorrow, more sunny and into the 60s. Let's hit the roads. My Country 96.1.
Phathead and Cande in the morning, weekdays 6 to 10 a.m. on My Country 96.1.